It's late at night when Delaney suddenly hears something through her baby monitor, but it's not her baby crying, it's something else. A low, raspy breathing, like a grown person is in the room, just standing there. Alarmed, Delaney grabs her phone and starts filming the monitor, wanting to document whatever it is that's making that sound. But what the camera captures is far more terrifying than anything she could have imagined. Delaney shared this footage online with the terrifying caption, "What did my camera just capture?" And well, viewers believe that this is something evil, something demonic. But what do you think? A man who goes by the username Davo Valkrat lives in a small town in Mexico. Davo recently bought an old doll from a street market, but ever since bringing it home, things inside his house have taken a terrifying turn. He claims to hear strange whispers at night, knocks at the door, but whenever he checks, no one's there. He began recording everything to figure out what was going on, but nothing could have prepared him for what the camera would soon capture.
Estoy trabajando. Dice... Disculpen el reguero. Ahí están mis perritos durmiendo. Son las 5:23 de la mañana. Estoy trabajando. Y de... 5:23 de la mañana, 5:24 ya, para los que dicen que... Para los que dicen que ocurre nada más a las 3 de la mañana, no. Son las 5 ya de la mañana. Con 24 minutos. Ahí están mis perritos. Están durmiendo. Y lo curioso es que... Alexa, luz del cuarto blanco frío.
Muy bien.
Están escuchando. Escuchen. Son susurros. Y no hay nadie, no. Siempre los muestro que no hay nadie para que luego no digan, no, es que eso, qué sé yo, de tus amigos, de tus familiares o lo que sea, no hay absolutamente nadie.
As Davo is on his computer, bangs and knocks startle him. But then, did you hear it? A voice calls out from his window, which spooks him, but then seconds later, loud knocks echo off the door again. Voices continue, but when Davo goes to check, there's no one out there. Creeped out, he checks his home including the outside, but again, he finds no one. But this was only the beginning, because on another night, at 3:43 AM, he's disturbed again.
Son las 3:43 de la mañana y justo... Otra vez. Luego empiezo a sentir adrenalina. Por eso respiro así. Y me... Encendí la linterna. No hay nadie. Todo está totalmente cerrado.
Davo is disturbed by the sounds of screaming coming from outside his room, but then loud knocking again can be heard on his door. He rushes to open it, but no one's there, and again, did you hear it? What sounds like a woman whispering can be heard, but Davo doesn't hear it. He flicks the light on again, but the place is empty. But as he makes his way back to his room, this happens.
No entiendo qué...
¿Qué más?
Para los que me dicen que me vaya de la casa. Manchen. Es bien fácil decirlo.
Banging on his back door spooks him, but when he goes to look, no one's out there. But as he turns back inside, the sounds of heavy footsteps can be heard running towards him. Creeped out beyond words, he heads back inside, but then knocking can be heard on his back door again, followed by the voice of someone. Concerned, he turns around to look, and then the sounds of footsteps running quickly towards him are heard again. After experiencing this, Davo decides to try and contact whatever might be the cause of all of this with a Ouija board. However, after doing so, things take an even scarier turn. Just one day later, as he's walking through the house, his camera captures something chilling.
¿Ven? No es nada. La muñeca está bien, no se ha movido. No hay nadie, no hay nada.
Did you spot it? As Davo walks through his home, something can be seen peeking out of an open doorway, but he doesn't notice it. And when he turns the light on, whatever was just there has mysteriously vanished, like it was never there. Davo believes that all this strange activity is paranormal and tied to the doll he purchased at the street vendor. So, could it be that the doll Davo brought home carried something with it? Something that now refuses to leave. Whether it's a spirit or something darker, the activity in his home seems to be escalating. And if this figure he caught on camera really is the thing behind it all, then Davo might be dealing with something far more sinister than just a haunted object. But as always, let me know what you think of this one down in the comments. Reddit user EMF4 Paranormal recently shared this unsettling clip from a paranormal investigation inside a reportedly haunted school. He and his girlfriend were exploring the building late at night when they decided to conduct a spirit box session inside the old gymnasium. There was no breeze whatsoever and no open doors or windows, and the air was so thick with humidity that condensation was forming on the floor. While filming, his girlfriend suddenly says she feels something touch her hair but brushes it off, thinking it might just be a bug. But when they got home and reviewed the footage, they saw this.
Sorry. I think that was my hair or something.
A piece of her hair, completely still one moment, suddenly flicks to the side as if something tugged on it. There's no visible cause, and with the humidity that night, static electricity was ruled out. The OP insists this video is unedited and says they've tried to debunk everything, but they just can't explain what happened. So, what could have touched her hair? Possibly something they couldn't see? Trying to make contact? Let me know what you think. This next image was shared by a Reddit user who goes by the name Musical Mama 2. She says the photo was taken at her brother's wedding back in 2010 during a small ceremony held in a Philadelphia apartment. At the time, no one noticed anything strange. It was just a quick picture of the newlyweds and some family smiling for the camera. But years later, when the photo resurfaced in a family album, someone finally noticed what had been hiding in plain sight. Do you see it? Look at the mirror. We can see the reflection of the bride, but behind is, well, someone who, if we look behind the bride, isn't there. The face is grey, with what looks like dark hair, and is completely out of place. The OP says this face doesn't match anyone who was there, and that it doesn't appear in any other wedding photos, and no one remembers anyone standing in that position at that time. So what or who is it? The OP posted this photo to the subreddit Ghosts, indicating that they think it's something paranormal. But what do you think? This next video was recorded by a static camera at a family's summer home. According to the homeowner, just a few weeks earlier, their beloved dog passed away. The pup had spent years by their side and always slept in the same quiet corner of the living room. Then, one night, something strange happened. Her husband had been going through old photos of the dog, and not long after, she received a motion alert from their security camera at the summer house where the dog had loved to sleep. When she opened the footage, this is what she saw. An orb, which people interested in the paranormal believe to be a spirit, can be seen floating around the room. The uploader, who goes by the username Fabiana Sanchez Rest on Instagram, says that she believes this is the spirit of her dog visiting them. Now, this brings me on to the next clip, which was sent in by a subscriber named Cameron, who lives with her family in Honolulu, Hawaii. She says the house is so old that even a light breeze makes the walls creak, and most nights, when she's up late, she checks the blink camera in the living room anytime she hears something unusual. But on the night of December the 27th, 2024, something felt different. Curious, she opened her blink camera app and saw this. 2 bright orbs of light plus 1 not so bright can be seen floating around in the living room. The orbs move with purpose and even seem to change direction mid-air. And what's more is that Cameron's cat notices them. But here's where the story becomes truly emotional. Just 1 day earlier, on December the 26th, Cameron's great aunt, her grandpa's oldest sister, passed away in a hospice, and Cameron believes this moment was when her spirit came home. She writes, "I believe it was my grandpa's sister and her parents reuniting together in the afterlife. My great-grandparents lived in this house, so I think she came looking for them and found them here." She also adds that her 2-year-old daughter sometimes looks around the house and points into empty rooms, waving and calling out "Papa" to people she's never met. Cameron says she's never really believed in orbs, not until this night. Now, some people might say like, it's just dust, or it's a bug. But well, does dust or do bugs really act like this? You decide. Do you have a creepy clip to share? Send your scary footage to our email address, contactmindjunkie@gmail.com, and we might feature it on the channel. TikTok user @crazywvwoman says she and her family kept hearing strange noises coming from one of the upstairs rooms in their house. Thing is, no one uses that room, it's just an empty space. So, curious and a little creeped out, they set up a Ring camera to see what might be going on. And later that night, their camera caught this. All of a sudden, one of the doors mysteriously opens all on its own, and then, if you look closely, a small dark shape can be seen moving behind the glass. But what is it? The uploader says she doesn't know what this thing is after being questioned by a viewer in the comments. So, the question remains, just what the f*** is that? This next unsettling clip was recorded by a mother during a quiet evening out with her daughter. They're relaxing in a public plaza, surrounded by families. Her little girl wanders just a few steps ahead, laughing, playing, enjoying the time. But suddenly, something stops her in her tracks. Caught on camera as the girl runs forward, she abruptly turns, her smile fades as she glances behind her. It's almost like she heard something or sensed something wanting her attention. But then, suddenly, her dress is pulled by something we can't see. The girl looks around, but no one is there. However, she is clearly aware that something pulled on her dress. Her mother, who is still filming, doesn't react at first, but later, when she reviews the footage, she notices the moment and realizes it's much more chilling than she thought. So, what exactly happened here? Did something unseen reach out for the little girl? Comment below with your thoughts on this one. Explorer Mike ventures out into the deep forest of Brazil in search of an abandoned school. Apparently, people say it has a dark history and that strange things still happen in there. Intrigued, Mike searches for it, and after a while, he stumbles across it. As Mike explores the school, he finds drawings on the floor and even a missing person poster. The deeper he goes, the more off it feels. He constantly feels like he's being watched. But that doesn't deter Mike. He presses on with his exploration of the school, and really, maybe he shouldn't have. Strange voices can be heard, and Mike is creeped out. But then, when he peers round a wall, he notices something at the far end. A mysterious dark figure, and if we brighten the footage, we can clearly see that someone or something is there. Mike doesn't wait a second longer and flees out an upper floor window in fear of his life. He later posted the video online, where viewers began analysing every single detail, especially the drawings he found earlier. Some say whatever this is actually resembles one of the stick figure sketches he found earlier. But what's your verdict? Did Mike catch something far more disturbing than he ever expected? Let me know. This next clip was filmed back in November 2013 in a small town in the Philippines. A local basketball coach had taken his team outside for a bit of training on a bright sunny day. He decided to film the session, just some casual footage of the kids running drills in the street. Nothing unusual, just another ordinary day, or so he thought. It wasn't until later that evening, when reviewing the footage at home, that he spotted something he couldn't explain.
Talagang doon lang ako nakapokus. Tignan ko lang sila isa-isa ganon. Wala akong nakita na isa man dumaan na ano.
As the players practice down the street, a dark figure suddenly appears, a child-sized shape sprinting past in the foreground. But here's where things get strange. The coach swears that no such child was present at the time. He even showed the footage to his students, and not one of them remembered seeing that particular kid during practice. Troubled, the coach took the footage to a video technician who carefully reviewed the file for any signs of editing or tampering. But the results? No glitches, no signs of manipulation. And when the clip was aired by a local news station, viewers across the region were left speechless, not just because of the mystery child, but because many claimed they'd seen that same dark figure before, even though they lived in different towns. Locals began to refer it as the running child, a spirit said to appear near schools and playgrounds just before tragedy strikes. So who or what was caught sprinting past that day? Share your thoughts in the comments. This final clip was shared to TikTok by user LukeyW01, who says he picked up a replica of the infamous Annabelle doll, mostly as a joke. It was a gift from a friend, meant to creep out visitors who recognised it from the movies. At first, it was just a harmless decoration, but then strange things started happening in the room where the doll was kept. He'd hear light knocks, shifting sounds, and even faint whispering, but always when he was alone. So, to put his mind at ease, he set up a night vision camera and left it running overnight. The footage he caught was anything but comforting. Lukey and viewers of this video believe this doll is haunted, as apparently Lukey has been experiencing paranormal activity ever since bringing this doll home. But what do you think? Is this doll haunted? Well, I'll leave that up to you to decide. Thanks so much for watching. If you're up for more scary videos, check out one of these next. You're gonna love them. Oh, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.